from New York. Ebro in the morning on Hot 97.
I'm gonna keep it 100 tonight, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna keep it 1,000. I like that number.
Is that on there?
Yeah, that's on
I'm
there.
hip to what's going on, fam. I ain't no old nigga that don't be knowing what's going on, fam. You know what I mean? Duckdown.com, Duhan, y'all niggas. Your website is trash, fam. Nobody wanna buy Sean Price hats, fam. You feel me? Matter of fact, let me get my record right before, you know what I mean? Hold up. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it so real with y'all tonight. I'm gonna keep it 1,000, fam. I love that number. I'm telling you, man, Drew High Buckshot, your website is trash. Nobody want to buy Sean Price hoodies. You know what I'm saying? You saw the Sean Price hoodies and then you wanted to copy my Come on, fam, y'all niggas is trash. Your website is trash. Your PayPal account is trash, fam. When you hit me with a text, it was like, yo, this is Drew. First of all, you called me like 8 times private. I already knew that was you, fam. And then you text me, this is Drew. D-R-U with big letters. Come on, first of all, why you had to text me with big letters? Right? Come on, man, I already know what that means. If you throw subliminals at me, I will destroy you, fam. Not 97.
Yo, man.
Oh, there you have it.
Imperius Rex, Sean Price album available right now everywhere. Big up to man. They gave me the 3 lyrical P's. I played it on Apple Music,
Right.
And it was just such a moment to be like, wow, Prodigy, Sean Price, Styles P on the same record.
Yeah.
How Drew and we have Bernadette, the wife of Sean Price here. How are you?
Hello.
How are you today?
First of all, congratulations, guys. Imperius Rex been a
Yes,
long time in the
yes.
making, so congratulations.
Thank you.
It's out today everywhere.
Well, and I wanted to talk about how, and even having that Prodigy verse in this song, and how long have you guys had this material?
So we had that record for before Prodigy passed. Harry Fraud hit us up. Harry Fraud produced that track, and he saw like a lot of publicity and promotion that we were working on the album. He just hit me up and said, yo, I have a track that I think you'd want for this album. So, it was just like a blessing for Harry to give it to us.
Wow.
And didn't ask for anything and just said he wanted to, make sure that Bernadette got it and that it went on the album.
Wow, that's great. And I know Harry has, he has like, I think close to like a half an album or more with Prodigy music. There's a lot of Prodigy Harry Fraud music, which I did not know about previously. And it's just so cool that was able. So had you heard it before, Bernadette, before then?
No, I heard Sean's verse.
But you didn't know Prodigy was on it.
No.
Wow.
And one great thing was that I saw Prodigy up at Mass Appeal maybe a couple months ago, and he came up to me and he said that he heard the record after we put it all together, and he said he listened to it like 50 times.
Really?
So he was like, yo, this, like he just got to tell me that. And, that just was incredible that how quick him and Styles gave us the permission to use it. And, who would have thought that now Prodigy wouldn't be here either?
It's wild. Right. Bernadette, how long were you and Sean together?
23 years.
All the way.
Off and on,
but
off
through
and on, breakups.
Of course, I mean, I know that's real life. That's real life.
Heartburn.
But through the Hell to Skelter day, I mean, we're talking about through the whole run.
Mm-hmm.
How did you guys meet?
He used to hang with a guy in my building, and he would come over there, and I would see him, and we started clicking.
He'd be like, "Hey, Bernadette."
Yeah. Yep. So that worked out.
What's tell us a little about Sean, because he's personality-wise, he's so interesting. I mean, he's one of the like funniest dudes ever in rap. My brother and I often laugh about this. This may sound very morose, and you may think we're wrong, but we thought, do you remember at the services, obviously you'll remember this, was the time when Papa Wu ran up on Action Bronson.
Yeah.
And me and my brother always thought it was perfect because Sean Price would have thought that was the most ridiculous shit to ever happen.
No, you know what's crazy? He said something about it in a rhyme, catch you at the funeral.
Really?
Yeah. So I was like...
So he predicted it before it even happened.
He predicted a lot of things.
But was he always that funny, sort of ironic guy?
Yeah. Since we was young. always the class clown, you know. That was him.
Was it what about the last few years? He had a very interesting career because, you know, Helter Skelter had was an underground 90s thing, and they definitely have an album, a seminal album that people love. But as time went on, Helter Skelter kind of faded away. But Sean Price turned into another thing.
Yep.
Tell us about, like, did that surprise you guys at all? Tell me a little bit about the evolution, both of you guys, of Sean Price, the solo artist.
Yeah, I think he knew he had to find a way to reinvent himself, and he did that. And that's a testament to him figuring it out because, we were talking the other day about a lot of the shows for Black Moon and Smith & Wesson and Boot Camp. When we would do the shows as the years went by, the guys would still be performing a lot of the classic material. And Sean was steadily in the studio recording new music, and he refused to do the old stuff. So he would go to the shows, and we'd be like, what are you doing? You have to do Operation Lockdown. Do La Fly. Do some of your hits. And he'd be like, nah, I'm just gonna do verses from the new, from new material I'm recording. And he was determined. Like, that's a very difficult thing for an artist to do because you don't get the reaction from the crowd. It's very difficult to perform new music at a hip hop show. But he continued to do it everywhere he went. And that became his strategy. He did a lot of features. He put out a lot of singles. He just started building a following where people, started to identify him as Sean Price.
Was that part of his, kind of his desire as a MC to continue to sharpen his skills and continue to be like, look, I did that, but I got more in the bag. Yeah.
That's it.
Move on. That was him all the time.
Always move forward. When was his birthday?
March 17th.
Yeah, I knew we shared a birthday. And we would always take
That's your
little shots.
birthday
Yeah,
too?
that's my birthday too.
Yeah.
My daughter's the next day.
Oh wow, 18. Yeah, that's beautiful. And
And your daughter's name, of course.
Sean Price.
Sean Price, of course. Why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't it be? And this project, what is it? 14 songs? 16 songs. Imperius Rex, Sean Price, and this, obviously, Bernadette, talk about what this means for the whole legacy and the family, and for you.
I just wanted to make him proud. He deserved it. He was a hard worker. I don't know. I just did what needed to be done. He wasn't finished.
How much was he finished with?
He was like 4 songs in, and I finished the rest.
Meaning you put together other songs you knew he liked, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah.
So the rest of, what does the other material come from? Just like, obviously, he's a prolific artist.
But the way she says 4 songs done, I think that he had scripted and put together 4 songs. But Sean liked to rap, and Sean liked to just do verses, and then he would come back. He didn't like the choruses. He didn't like putting a record together. So there were literally dozens and dozens and dozens of verses. And Bernadette literally spent hours and hours and days in the studio. I'm saying days, weeks, whatever, just going through everything and with our engineer, Dan the Man, big him up, putting this together. So she put the skeleton of the project together, and then we can kind of come in and fill in the choruses and the features and figure out what beats we want to use underneath. And, but Bernadette really did spearhead it. When you listen to this, from the order to picking the beats to picking the verses and approving all the features, it's got Bernadette's stamp all over it.
Well, you did a great job, Bernadette. Honestly, I didn't know that.
Thank you.
Right? I actually thought, when I was listening this morning on the way to work, I actually thought he finished it. I was like, oh, I guess this is done.
It's like
because
a jigsaw puzzle.
It feels like it does
it's
not.
fluid.
It
It's
does
fluid.
not feel like this is not Born Again. Okay,
Right.
This feels like a Sean Price album. Like, it really does to me. So kudos.
He guided me.
He what? He guided you.
Guided me from the heavens. Yeah.
And you spit some bars on it.
Yes.
I mean, you got a chorus on there. Which is pretty amazing.
Price family.
Would he be
Yeah.
surprised at that? At you actually spitting bars, you think?
No, the last song is called Price Family. He was alive when we did that together.
Was that his idea? He wanted to
Yeah,
get all
that
the
was
guys-
his idea. He was
So
like,
it's-
come on, do it. I was like, no. Because he's a hard person to please.
Of course. So he got you in the studio and he was like, just do it. Just go ahead.
I
Just
was
let me
always
mess
in the
around.
studio with him. I'd be sitting on the side somewhere, listening, taking notes and stuff.
You ever told him his verses was trash?
I'm sure.
No, you know what? Certain verses I didn't like, but it sounded great. So I'm like, oh, go ahead. You know, that's husband and wife. We know what
Right.
it is, you know. So when fans and other people be like, you let him say that? I'm like, yeah, that's
So you
his.
didn't like what he was saying, but not how he was saying it. You liked.
Right.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
you didn't
right.
want to censor him and be like, no, you can't say that. I get it.
Nah, I would never do that.
How do your kids feel about it? How old are your kids?
The oldest one is 22.
Okay.
Then we have a 17-year-old, and then we have a 7-year-old.
Would they stop by the studio while you were working on the project?
Nah, the boys is not into that.
Okay, nothing.
Are
to
they
do
not?
with
Are the
it.
boys not into rap?
They listen to rap, but they just
Not Sean.
not Sean.
New generation, Peter.
They new generation.
Right.
Dude,
So hold
I'm
on.
coming from Sean Price's kids.
So hold on. So the baby.
What y'all out here listening to? Wait, time out. What are they listening to?
But they understand how important Daddy was.
Yeah, they understand. They support. Like they come to the summer shows, and you know
Right.
they there. But my daughter, she's the only one that hands on grip. She want to be on the stage. She want to grab the mic. She wants to do everything.
She rhymes too.
Yeah.
She got bars. She nice.
Well, and we've gotten to watch her sort of unfold, like because the last time I saw Sean and saw you as well together was
Right.
at Summer Stage in Brooklyn, the Duck Down Barbecue
Yeah.
that you guys always have.
And that is like one of my favorite stories with you. It kind of summarized Sean and how he could take any situation and make it funny because that was you coming off of a disaster.
Well, that was the year before, but yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
but tell
yeah,
that
the
story
year before.
because
Okay, so yeah, well, you remember I've told you this before, but yeah, I just showed up at Summer Jam in Summer Stage, the Duck Down Barbecue in Brownsville. It's the day after the Nicki Minaj fiasco. That was Sunday. This show's Monday or Tuesday. And I'm a little tense in general, and I don't know how like the streets necessarily feel about the whole situation. I just don't know.
Care.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't go that
right.
far. But I did.
About Nicki Minaj?
Well, it's just about the whole thing. I was just out there. I was just being out there more than anything, right? Like more than them being like, we must defend Nicki Minaj. It's more just a weird time. And I show up kind of like thinking about it, like, people are all gonna be like, what's up, Rosenberg? How was your weekend? You know? I don't know how people can react. And then I see Sean, and he's like, is this the man who wrecked the buffet? He quotes Caddyshack.
Yeah.
And
that's how he greets him. And he just broke all the ice.
yeah, it was just so funny. I just cracked up because obviously he didn't give a fuck. He thought the whole thing was funny.
Right.
And just like he was just amused at Sean, I think he seemed to take a lot of pleasure in just like awkward, ridiculous scenarios. So like he just thought it was funny.
Yes.
And
And then he could put a great spin on it. You know, like
Yeah.
you're saying, referencing pop culture, pulling something from
exactly, and of
Caddyshack,
course
like-
pulling something from Caddyshack, which is such
Right.
a because his pop culture references are so random.
Right.
They're all he's such a well cultured artist in terms of where he pulls from. It's everything.
It was so random.
Like anyone could be a
it's
Sean
versatile.
Price fan as a result of that.
Right.
And that's why you see the random actors and people who you might not think would be a Sean Price fan, but because of
Yeah.
the things he touched on, there was so. But it was the year Sean passed though. That was the last time I saw you guys.
Right.
And he brought out Royal Flush on stage.
Yeah.
And then he brought Sean up
Yeah.
on stage with him. And so like the last memory I have of Sean is standing on stage 10 feet behind as him and your daughter
Right.
rap together.
Right.
And that was obviously you could tell that like his baby, the little one, she's the one who was like, I'm in for daddy's raps. Like I am here for this.
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful, it's very sad obviously, but it's beautiful. Are you this role that you play now in life of Sean P's wife is an interesting thing. We've seen this before. This is like what Ma Dukes does in Dilla's life.
Yeah.
And it's
She's
not
a great woman.
she's wonderful and it's not something you ever planned for, but how are you adjusting sort of to that role?
Well, I ain't got no choice but to adjust. Me and him had plenty of conversations, you know, before his passing, and so I pretty much knew what to do.
What would you discuss? Like, did he ever think that he would pass young at all?
Yeah, he would say that all the time, and I'd be like, "Oh, shut up." But you know, he had a long run. You know, you on the plane, off the plane, on the road, not eating right, not, you know, so it wears down on you sometimes.
Most times.
Yeah,
Most times.
Definitely.
Did you ever fight with him about health issues and things of that nature? Or do you?
Yeah, because he was always, "Oh, I'm not going to the doctor. If it's, he'd be like, "Well, you're going to die from something one day. Enjoy your life." Like if you had cancer and he knew you had cancer and you wanted a cigarette, he going to give you that cigarette. Because he like, enjoy your life.
Right. He's not the one who's going to say, no, you can't do that.
No, that's just him.
And it's funny, after Sean passed, I remember the day it happened. It was a Saturday.
Yeah.
And I woke up to a text or whatever it was and started reaching out to people to try to find out if it was true. And this may sound sad or delusional, but like my brother and I were on the phone and we were like, man, if there's one person who would play a prank and
would
like
be
fake
Sean.
their
It
death
would be Sean.
and they'd be like, you assholes, it was Sean. I was like, maybe this really isn't real.
I
think
got
it
a
was.
lot of that. I was like, okay. I stayed, I wasn't writing on the internet, but I was just looking at stuff. I put up there that he passed because that was just my first thought, like to get everybody to know what happened without, I wouldn't been able to dial people number on this phone. I just wrote it up there and I was like, because he passed like around 8:30 in the morning. So I just put it up there and like everybody will find out and they'll come,
How long? You spoke briefly. You said that you knew what to do. You guys had talked. You knew exactly what he wanted to happen.
This
So-
started happening like speaking like maybe within the last 2 years.
So something had health-wise had happened where you knew time was limited.
Well,
or?
he struggled with sleep apnea. And in sleep apnea, your heart stops beating. So if I would catch him on his back, I would turn him on his side. You could choke, things like that. So he knew about it, but he was like, I'm not sleeping with no machine. It's over. I can't do that. But that's him being macho.
It's interesting too, because obviously losing Prodigy, losing Sean P. You go back to the stories of Pun, right? We all have friends and family and people we love. I specifically have a lot of family that deals with obesity and diabetes and eating problems and blah blah blah. Lost my mom to a heart attack. Lost my dad to diabetes. You know what I mean? Like so. At 42, and they make fun of me all the time. Right, I get on my tirades about vegetables and water and trying to be healthy because I not only want to be here for the people I love, but as Sean said, look, we all gonna go some way. I just want to better my odds. Like that's the way I live life. Right. It'd be interesting to hear from you, Bernadette. Like, this is your husband. This is the man you love. This is the father of your children, right? And you guys are dealing with something, right? How hard was that during the moment? How frustrating was that during the time?
It's very frustrating. I go to the doctor all the time. I'm on point. Me, the kids, we on point.
Do you feel like your kids learn from this too? Do you feel like this? Because I know in some ways,
my kids is good.
My
My
father's
kids is
passing
good
was
children.
definitely learning for me.
My kids is good children. The oldest one, he smokes a little bit, but I get on him. The other one, he don't smoke. They're not street children. They're good kids. So, but they understand. They know. Both of them works out, go to the gym, and my daughter, she's another story. She's stubborn.
So your daughter, so she really is Sean Price.
Oh yeah.
Now, how?
She's all the way.
So the apple did not fall far from the tree with this one. What about how talented is she? Like, she's really seemed to like improve. Like, she doesn't quite sound like a little kid anymore. Like, she actually has some. When she raps along now, it's different because at first she was a little kid.
7, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's 7. Going
say
on
it's-
77.
Yeah, jump in, Drew.
It's hard to say a Sean Price rhyme. Like it's not. He didn't dumb it down for you at any point. So it's always very complex rhyme patterns, and I can't repeat a lot of his verses as many times as I've been around him. But little Sean has picked it up. Like she can literally do it bar for bar. Just that. We have a skit that we did. If you look up Sean Price opens a rap clinic, And I urge everyone to go look at some of the Sean Price skits that we did.
They're all amazing, by the way. Sean Price's series of skits online are amazing.
I said we've been doing interviews, and I said we were a little early with them because if we had been doing them right now, and I always said this to Sean too, like we were going to catch a series or something off of it. Like it would have been on Vice or Mass Appeal. It would have turned into
or like his Instagram would have blown up
Yeah.
from these videos. Like he did have a knack for that.
But we did one where it was Sean Price opens up a rap clinic, and we said that he retired from rap, and we painted this Ari the Rugged Man kicked him in the throat, and so we to the point of like faking something, like we did kind of fake that, and then we would put it out on Twitter, and then we would follow with the video, and he's taking kids around, and he would like tell them rhymes to say, and they literally just couldn't repeat after what he would say, and that was we didn't make that part of it up, like that
part was legit.
It was legit, and that's little Sean can do it all.
Yeah, that's very impressive because it's hard to say a Sean Price rhyme. He has a part. There's a skit early in the album that made me laugh so hard. This is such a Sean Price kind of joke, where he's talking about smacking the shit out of people and says it's so loud. He's like, it's so loud that he says something about the noise from smacking the shit out of someone, and he's like, I got arrested for noise pollution.
Yeah. That's
Like-
a true story, though.
What do you mean?
He was in Job Corps
And he
when that happened, and it was so loud, they locked him up. What is this?
wait, from slapping someone?
Yeah.
He legitimately got.
the echo, yeah.
Maybe it was the slap. Maybe what that slap left on that person.
Could we get an interview with the guy who took that slap? If he can still talk. Because I need to know.
We could find him if he's still alive.
The funny part is Sean, though, Sean is sort of an intimidating presence. He was a really big guy, obviously, super smart and kind of intimidating, but I only saw him as in a really chipper mood. Was he mostly a chipper guy?
I say that he played the bully, like he played off of it, but he never wanted to be seen as a bully. There was like lots of footage and things that he did for us comedically, if that's a word, that made us all crack up, and then we would have it on tape, and he wouldn't let us put certain things out there because he felt if he was, making fun of someone and that was an inside joke almost, he wouldn't let it go out. And as much as he talked about, slapping the shit out of people and shut the fuck up and pardon me on there, and everything that he would do, at the end of it, I think he definitely understood right and wrong. It was more a thing if you crossed the line with him, you definitely were going to get checked. But he wasn't an aggressor. He wasn't a bully.
No.
It was, he just used it as a part of the personality. I mean, you guys all traded jabs with him and sparred with him in a fun way.
I already knew when I started with him, he would get it right away. He got it right away, took a shot right back. I loved it.
But he loved it, and he loved it, and he ultimately respected that. Like, he wasn't like, man, let it with this dude. It wasn't like, where you would get angry and be naive.
Well,
or
he
stupid.
got the sport of the rap
Right.
part. Like
Right.
he always got that part.
What about was there ever a conversation that ever had to be had about the Wale situation?
What was the Wale situation?
Because he said, I don't Wale with the
No,
new.
nigga.
Right.
Yeah.
He just used his name as a verb to be like, fuck this new bullshit, basically.
And
Yeah.
did Wale ever say anything about it?
Yeah.
I know he knew he wasn't pleased about it.
He wasn't pleased. They argued. Fans came at Sean. He was like, I don't give a fuck.
And I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure what happened was there was a mutual friend, my man JD from Team Demo, who was tight with Sean.
Yeah.
And also is from DC and has worked with Wale a bunch. And I think he basically told Wale, like, listen, Sean, first of all, he's not the dude to fuck around with, but also it ain't that serious.
Yeah,
like,
he
don't
didn't
even
mean
worry
it
about
like
it.
that.
Like,
So,
it's not personal.
Nah,
he just
was
talks shit.
I think you kind
It
of
was a
summarized
metaphor.
it. A metaphor, yeah.
Yeah, but
We caught some slack. I got a bunch of phone calls. I don't know how to respond to those things other than, look, I don't write his rhymes. Like, you find them, go ask him.
Bernadette, what could you say about the relationship between Sean and Drew over the years? Because these guys known each other a long, long time.
Sean loved Drew. He always loved Drew. Don't nobody bother Drew. You bother Drew, Sean turned into something else. He ain't care who you was, what you thought. Don't bother him. Period.
He didn't treat me like that every time I called him.
He felt like you treated like you were bothering him.
Yeah, we got into it all the time.
All the time.
But
But
that's
Sean
the
seemed
love-hate
like the
relationship.
kind of guy who liked to argue for sport too, though. Just a little,
No.
just a little go back and forth, have fun type of thing. Not at all.
No. He's not the arguing type.
Not at all.
So what is he more? He would just be difficult, like wouldn't get back to you?
No, he would get back to me. I didn't like the answer sometimes. I was like, we need to go do this.
And he's like, no.
Why I gotta do that for? Let's go film another skit. I'm not filming another skit. Sean, we've got we've got Pawn Shop and we're gonna go do this thing. We got Chum Lee in the stores.
Which was
open.
hilarious, by the way. A great skit you did.
Remember, you would have to get him talk to me.
I was gonna say, how often would you start skipping over him and call her and say, "Can you please work on this with him?"
We would talk, but I would just be persistent and stay on him. The Christmas rap that he did, the Grinch. You guys ever see that one?
Mm-hmm.
That took 3. I told Bernadette, that took 3 Christmases to go by before he recorded it. And every August, it'd be right around now because I knew how long it was going to take us to get it ready and do a video. Around August of each year, I had it marked on my calendar. Remind Sean to do the Grinch. And the 3rd year, I got him to do it with Crisis, who produced the track. And that's still one of my favorite. Like, go look that one up on the net too. That's one of my favorites.
So many good ones. Let's talk real quick. Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Jay shout him out in the text messages?
What Jay did shout him out in the text messages, and Jay also reached out, days after his passing through DJ Premier, and he made an incredible donation to the crowdfund that we had put up.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We're not gonna say the number, but it was
the number was all online. How could?
Really? But he was.
You could go look it up, but it made you sit back and just go, damn, because they didn't have. There's a family connection, and Bern can expand on that through Bleak, but they didn't have a personal friendship or anything. There was nothing there, and Jay just reached out and said, look, I want to do something, and he had Premier call me. I know Premier had Jay on the other line. He was like, hold on, let me click back. And I was like, well, click me in.
I haven't talked to Jay in a long time.
Yeah, I was like, let me get in the middle of all this. But he did, and big up to Jay.
And that shout out was very nice to see in the text messages, I thought, when he was listing his favorite, MCs who influenced him. That was pretty cool,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, people went crazy. Did he say Sean Price? Hold on. And then they was posting and tagging me. I was like, oh, gosh.
So what is the connection through Bleak? What's the family connection?
It's his cousin. We all grew up from young. Bleak, his family, Sean family. So we pretty tight with each other.
So you've been tight for a long time. And did you, Drew, you guys had did you guys have any dealings with Hove back in the day, in the 90s?
Well, we were all started on Priority Records. Before he was...
Oh, I was about to say, of course,
right.
You guys had your deal with Priority at the same time.
So we used to do promo runs with Boot Camp, and Jay and Dame we might be at a radio station at the same time, and they would come out, we would go in. But they were short-lived on Priority. Like, I think they moved it...
To Def Jam like a year later.
To Def Jam very quickly. And so our interaction with them was limited, but it was always cool. I know Jay and Buckshot had a good relationship, and there was a lot of mutual respect there.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a very nice story to hear. We don't always hear those things about when someone kind of quietly reaches out to do something, but
yeah, who else reached out was Eminem through Shady. I don't want to start singling people out, but just when you see the level of certain artists that do reach out,
right.
it does take you back, and you're like, they may not reach out all the time, but in that moment they're like, we're watching and we're aware of what's going on, and that does make the ego feel good, and it's nice to be recognized at that point.
We would see Shady all the time in the parking lot doing their little barbecues for Summer Jam, and Sean would go over there and we eat, crack jokes and have not, so they loved him.
Bernadette, we love you. Thank you for your energy today. All right.
Thank you.
Drew, we like you a lot.
Imperius Rex.
Imperius Rex, go get it right now.
Imperius
It's
Rex.
everywhere.
Yes,
Sean
sir.
P.
P.